G'day guys, welcome back to Supercoach Swordplay. It is time to open up the mailbag, so thank you as always to anyone that did leave a question. I think we've got 47 in total to go through tonight. Now unfortunately you are stuck with me flying solo. Last week you had the privilege of Janath flying solo, giving you some advice, top 800 coach at the moment, but myself, I'm struggling to maintain that top 2% rank as things currently stand, but hopefully can make some better decisions towards the back half of the year. So as always, there is never any guarantee with this advice. I'd love to just be able to sit on the fence a lot of the time, but I do try to answer each question. But remember, I do not always get things right. You probably recognize that if you've been following me this season. Look, I shouldn't be complaining too much about a top 2% rank, but you always want a little bit more, don't you? But let's get straight into this. As always, thank you very much to anyone that did leave a question. Now, Marty, please, this man asks some interesting questions from week to week and has lovely manners, must be said. Does the plane take off if it's on a treadmill matching its speed, please? Now, I went straight to Janath with this. I had absolutely no idea. So I went to Janath for help. This is probably the best reply I think we have here. Daryl Hall, it stays on the ground, just like my 2025 Supercoach team. Squiddy says, lol, nah. And what does Janath give to us? Absolutely no idea, but I think Frogger may have actually come to the rescue here. Wheels aren't relevant there, are they? The thrust comes from the engine, so if the plane's engines are up and running and generate the thrust, the plane can take off. But this is going back a while. It was a thought experiment question donkeys years ago. Recall is a touch vague. Well, it seems very intelligent to me, mate, and I'm just going to go with you there, Frogger, because I don't know if anyone else has much of an idea there, but there you go, Marty. Hopefully Frogger's helped you out with that one there, legend. Good on you, mate. All right, next one is from Mega. How are you, mate? Would you go George Hewitt or Darcy Cameron to finish your team? I'm a massive fan of George Hewitt, mate. What I really love about Hewitt is the fact that he's never going to get tagged. We've got Walsh out now. His midfield time's going up. I like their fixture. And he's a 115 averaging midfielder. That's for the season. So we need to pay a lot more respect, I think, to George Hewitt. And he's someone who I would love to sideways into my team for someone like Lachie Neale this week, but I just don't have the luxury to do it, unfortunately. So Cameron, he could be okay, but I think he sits within that second tier of rucks, whereas I think George Hewitt can really push towards a top 6 average for midfielders. So I'd be going Georgie boy on that one, Mega. And rate my team. 5 trades left. Likely to have to get the 99.9 West Coast week. Okay, McCarthy, like you won't have to, mate. You need to, I think. All right, so you got Holmes, Dale, Whitfield, Rosé, Sheasel, Mills, Sinclair, Bond, the Gold Coast boys, Hewitt, Dacos, Dunkley, Zach Johnson, but Dawson's there. That's good. Sherry DeConning, Baz, Warner, Bolton, Daniel, Rankin. Then you have Track there, and then McKercher. Yeah, nice, mate. Very nice. So 5 trades left. You got a completed side. Good stuff, mate. And McCarthy, it'll be really nice for you as well. Get some DPP and stuff there. Good on you, mate. Timmy, hey lads. Thoughts on stacking with top-end primos and using McCarthy as the 23rd? For example, sidewaysing your Warners or Neils. It's a big discussion at the moment, and we were talking about this on the pod. And I think that McCarthy could actually be okay-ish as that type player, and then you can upgrade maybe your Roberts, your McKercher types like that. But in saying that, the bloke has literally played one game. He was a mid-season draftee, obviously a talented player, but it's been one game. Was he even going to get a full game before there was a little bit more carnage out of the team sheets? I don't know the answers here. What I do know is going off the eye test, off the roll, and what we saw, particularly with that disposal efficiency, his ability to actually defend, I think he should be an absolute lock to play that role at least till the end of the year. Who knows? I'm not Mini, and Mini has absolutely screwed us in Supercoach this year with your Hall types, your Allen types, the Gross types. We can keep on listing him, can't we? But yeah, I think it is okay to do that. But myself, I'm actually deciding to get McCarthy in as the 24th player and really focus on some DPP, allowing him to be able to cover from the back to the midfield. So, yeah, look, I think it is okay. It's, yeah, very much each their own there, mate. But I've thought about, yeah, that 23rd with McCarthy and then that McCarthy at 24, and I think I still prefer it at 24 at this stage, and I'll be left with about 3 trades, I think, with that anyway, mate. Lockie, g'day, lads. Who do you prefer to finish the forward line, Kennedy or Sam Darcy? Well, the sensible answer should probably be Kennedy, shouldn't it? But Sam Darcy, who's going to stop him? Are there many key defenders that can actually stop this man when he's at the top of his game? Look, we saw what he did last week, came back from injury, and I was not expecting much at all. His tog was down a little bit and all the rest, but he looks so good to me. He looks so good, and I think he's got some really easy kills coming up in the short term. And look, key forwards, traditionally, we absolutely stay away from them. You've got Kennedy here, who's a midfielder, who plays a bit of time forward, compared to someone who is that absolute key forward. But as crazy as it sounds, I think Sam Darcy is just an absolute different beast. He's on another level, and I know that Janath talks about TDK being generational. I reckon this bloke, it's pretty safe to say, is looking to be a generational type player. So a different beast. I don't know if it'll even be more of a pod after this week. I'm not too sure what the ownership there is, but personally, I'm going to say Sam Darcy. And a big part of that as well is because I really, really enjoy watching him play. And I know that shouldn't be part of the decision, your decision, and the advice that I give you. But yeah, I'm going to say Darcy for now, mate, just because I think that his ceiling could be off the tap. And it seems like in the games where Kennedy is really, really good to the eye, he's not really rewarded as he should be on the Supercoach score sheet. I'm not sure if owners feel that way. I'm not an owner, so I don't really keep a close track of it like other people may. But yeah, it just seems like he does more than what he's rewarded for by champion data anyway. But yeah, all the best with the decision, mate. Troy, is Tom McCarthy the perfect 23rd? So yeah, I've discussed that already just before, mate. Leaves more money to reinvest in the 22. So some examples could be if you're sitting with, I don't know, a Rankin and a Roberts in your defensive line. Could you go your Roberts up to your Naz, your Whitfields maybe, depending on how much money you've got in the bank and all that sort of stuff? Could you get your Rankins up to your Horn Francis? That'd be pretty easy, wouldn't it, actually, with their price at the moment? But yeah, these are sort of things that I'd really be looking at. If you got a McKercher there, I know lots of people are looking to get out of a Dunkley type pick, or if you've got another pick like a Merritt, a Neil that's coming onto the bye that you know is going to be missing a game, and that might be a tough buy round for you. Yeah, look, you could just get out of them and upgrade and allow McCarthy's at 23rd. I think it's okay, but I'm deciding not to do that myself, and I'm looking to get a premium in that. And when I say premium, I say it'll be Horn Francis, will be just say Bolton as that flex for me. Danny, hey legends, have 6 trades left with 22 primos and no cash in the bank. Very common for lots of teams, mate. Is it worth using 3 trades to get in Mills and finish my team? 3 trades for Mills just off the bat, I'm not liking too much, mate. I'm playing for leagues, but also ranked in the top 1500. Well done, mate. And never been in this position before, just a bit torn on what to do. Thanks. So 6 trades left with 22 primos. Yeah, 3 to get Mills. I would probably say no at this point, mate. You got Sinclair, Holmes, Clark, Whitfield, Zorko, and Roberts. So nice. Look, you'd like to have Roberts up if possible, but nice. Smith, Brayshaw, Dawson, Noah, Green, Dacos, Shees. Okay, McKercher. You got the 2 big boys there, very nice. Track, Horny, Warner, Butters is there, Rankin. Okay. No, I wouldn't be going 3 trades to get in Mills. I don't think that I would. If you've already got McCarthy. No, I'd be going your McCarthy somewhere there, mate. So rather than getting Mills in, I'd be looking to get a McCarthy down and maybe even wait on it. So just use McCarthy as at 23rd for now if you can. Have you got anyone you can push forward? Maybe not. Is that the issue? You need a... Oh, no, Baz push forward. Yeah, that's what I'd be doing at this stage, mate. Even, a Peddler, get Baz back up here and maybe a Peddler there. And then trade him out for McCarthy, I think would be what I'd look to do anyway, Danny. But congrats on the ranking there, mate. All the best, bud. Jimmy, hey, mate. Love your work, legends. Appreciate it, mate. Picked up Amon 3 weeks ago after a 5-round average of 100 plus. I've got him in a keeper draft with Supercoach Edge, mate. So I have been, tracking him as well. He has since scored 370s in a row. Should I move him on or hope he returns to a D6 standard? It's very, very tough, Jimmy, without actually seeing your team, mate. So what I might do here is just write, can you please send a pic of your team legend? And I'll be able to help you a little bit more there, mate, because it depends on trades. Like, what's your midfield looking like? What's your forward line looking like? Have you got the two big boys in ruck flex? So, yeah, without seeing your team, it's a little bit hard to answer, but ideally you would like to move him on, I think. But he could remain a pod at the same time if you could maybe push him to the flex anyway, mate. Or just say keep him at D6 and then maybe one of those defensive mid options in the flex. But, yeah, send us through your team, mate, and we'll get back to you, buddy. Jackie, how are you, mate? Hey, legends. Bring in Bont or Butters will complete my 23rd this week, as I have my boy Ed Richards as a pod every week. Oh, mate, I love that. I love that. Can't believe I didn't end up going through with it, mate. I was just so all over him pre-season. I'm thinking Butters is a better pick. Would you get Bont or Butters if you had to choose? All right, so let's look at Bont's run. And the break-evens, you don't worry. If you're going to get one or the other now, then the break-evens don't matter. It's just whoever you like best. So 177, it's high, obviously. Boom, boom, boom. Like, I'm looking at this straight up in the next 3 weeks. Richmond, Sydney, North Melbourne. Dang, that's pretty crazy. Adelaide, Brisbane, Essendon, GWS, Melbourne, West Coast, Fremantle. So there's some really, really juicy matchups there for the Bont and short term as well. Surely he's got to come back. Surely he's got to come back to that form that we've seen early on. Butters. So obviously the much lower break even, but again, it doesn't matter if you're going this week, mate. So Sydney, jeez, look at that last one. Sydney, very nice. Carlton, not great. Brisbane, that's okay. But obviously harder match up there. Jeez, okay, he's got West Coast at Adelaide Oval. Gold Coast, Carlton. So Carlton twice. Freo, Geelong, Adelaide, Hawthorn. I like Bont's run better, mate. So I'm going to say Bont. But if we look back at this at the end of the season, I would not be surprised if it was Butters or Bont, mate. But, yeah, that's a tough one, mate. But I'm going with my boy Bont. All the best, mate. Logue, say legends, which way would we lean here? Is Maxi that good to the point it's worth trading Merritt over him and skimping out on Mills over JHF or Shees? Cheers, boys. If Merritt out is the way, would you trade Chalky or Zeret? Okay, so you're trading out. Gone. So you're trading out Mills. Hang on. Is it worth trading Merritt over him and skimping out on a Mills over JHF Shees? Oh, so it's either... Oh, sorry. Is it either one of these? I'm a little bit confused with what's happening here, mate. But if I can give you a question... Okay, so would I trade Chalky or Zeret? Oh, look. Let's have a quick look at Chalky and Zeret. So, my boy Chalky here. I've been keen to trade Chalky out, to be quite honest. They've obviously both got the same buy. If he goes over 100, apart from, it seems, last week, look, it's 143, 116, 124, 139, 113. So, it's going to be a pretty decent type 100. Now, this really worries me this week. Really worries me. I think they'll tag him. Potential tag. Look, Hewitt there. Probably not, probably not. Don't know. Jordan smashed him week 1. Not sure. So look, he could go okay. You know, it is Lockie Neal at the end of the day. Now Zach Merritt is a bit of a different situation, isn't it? It's role. It's not really necessarily tags that we're worried about as much. But yeah, look at this. So 2 massive ceiling games, keeping in mind North and Richmond. So you take away that North and Richmond. If we go back to, let's just say back to West Coast even, I'm going to take these 2 games out. 106, 89, 76, 65, 93, 81, 100. Now, he plays Richmond at the G, which is again nice. St Kilda. But yeah, look, I'm probably trading out Zeret. I don't know if that's my Brisbane bias coming into play. It's a risk either way, mate. You could totally see both of them popping off, couldn't you? But I'm probably trading out Zeret there. And is Maxi that good? It really depends what you get, isn't it? But I've thought about trading out Maxi. I legitimately have. That's the way the season's going, Supercoach 2025. And I've decided to just keep on to him. I cannot stand antipoding him, and he's a type of bloke that we know can give you those 170 type scores. So at the end of the day, I think to myself, there's other people asking me, do I go with McCarthy's at 23rd and just go with the real big dogs? If I can have your Gawn, your Sherrys, your Bonts, and these type of players in my team with McCarthy the 24th, then I think that's a pretty big advantage. So yeah, I'd be holding on to Gawn if you can, mate. AJ, hey boys, 7 trades left and 153k in the bank. Currently done Fonty to Mills at D6. Can leave that or finish my team by doing Hewitt, Huss to JHF, Liddy. Have to get a cheap mid-rook. Otherwise could go Darcy and get a rookie with better job security like Allen. Sinclair, Holmes, Dale, Clark, Mills, Carroll. Then you've got McCarthy there. Brayshaw, Bonk, Green, Neils, Chera, Butters, Dacos, Sheasel, plus Dawson. Rowan does worry me, mate. Rowan does worry me slightly. Baslinka, Daniel Rankin, Warner. Oh, so Elijah Hewitt. Okay, so you're currently done with Monty. Can leave that or finish my pen by doing Hewitt, Hush, JHF, Liddy. Ooh, so Darcy. Ugh, so Darcy or JHF. I like Darcy probably better this week, given the fact that JHF is under a bit of an injury cloud, and Darcy could go very, very large, the human skyscraper against Richmond this week. But overall, if you ask me who do I want, it's probably Horn Francis, I think, overall. Could you wait a week on Horn Francis? Look, I'm doing Darcy this week, then Horn Francis the next, mate. So I think either way is fine. If you don't feel like you need to rush, then don't do it, mate. But yeah, I'm just not sure what to think about JHF this week when he's under that injury cloud. I really don't know. And those really low CBAs, what was it, 9%? Yeah, I really want just to see another week. So that's just my, sort of sit on the fence take. Sorry, mate. But it's a very, very tough one, bud. Garrett, say guys, currently have 8 trades. Would you get rid of Merritt with his potential tags incoming and still have 6 trades left to somehow afford a Brayshaw the remaining rookies, or waste 3 trades, bring in Mills and be left with 5 trades but 2 mid prices? Thanks, gents. Huswaite and Merritt for Butters and Rouston. Oh, look, I'm not sure about Rouston. I'm not sure. I owned him last year. It was such a fright. He's just dead. Just a dead rookie. Look, it's not a bad sideways, actually. I think Zeret to Butters. Yeah, I'd probably do that, mate. I don't mind that because Zeret's just not looking good at the moment, that role. And Butters is someone that could absolutely go bananas. So I think that's okay, mate. Matty, g'day, gents. Hope not too late. It is not, mate. Would you choose TDK or Grundy to trade Gawn to? Oh, I'd rather keep Gawn, mate. But if you are, plan is to get one of them, Hewitt, McCarthy, and then Mills using my last boost. Okay, TDK or Grundy. Now, I don't know if we're being given Grundy enough respect. 611. Dang. 43 break even. Jeez, he's coming up against Port. English, then Freo. Rowan, Sherry, Briggs, Essendon, Brisbane, Geelong, West Coast. Damn, he's got a nice run. 611. His score's been like, so... Look at his last, 5 weeks. 121, 135, 109, 161, 155. Okay, Brodie Grundy. And then you've got, TDK would normally be my option I'd just defer to, but 146. Yeah, do you know what? it depends on the money, mate. Like, if you're asking me, maybe you go 50, say 50k and go to Conning. But in saying that, if you can afford to go Grundy as a pod, I think it could be a fantastic pod. Looking at the numbers, I've never really seriously considered him in my own side, but yeah, I would go Grundy over TDK. I think is a bit of a pod move, mate. But if you want to go the safer move, I think it's TDK's the safer move. But I don't mind Grundy looking at those numbers in his upcoming draw anyway, bud. Uno, hey boys, playing for leagues, thinking Pedler and the Huswaite, the pencil, down to Butler and McCarthy. Yeah, look, I'm much more comfortable going McCarthy early over Butler. But if you want to, mate, let's see what your plan next week is. Kako to JHF, Clark to Darcy. Whoa. Rookie to Fran Gross, Rookie Barrel. Yeah, okay, I like that. Leaving 4 trades full primo with Darcy and Flex. Thoughts? Yep, cool. I actually don't mind that, mate. Here's the team. Sinclair Whitfield, Naz, Shees, Zorko, Roberts, Bray Green, Butters, Gerard, Neil, Dacos, Caldwell, Oliver. Yep, okay. 2 big boys, Cherry Gorn, which is nice. Baz, Track, Warner, Daniel, Rankin, Cack. Cool, okay. Yeah, I don't mind that at all, mate. Don't mind that at all. 4 trades. You'd love to move on Clary, but with that flex, I suppose that, yeah, different to other seasons, mate. All the best, buddy. All right, Daniel. Option 1, hold Ashcroft as M8 for the year. Option 2, turn him into Darcy at flex. Shees and Sink in mids for the year. Helps with round 16 bye and can field next rookie in the mids this week. No issue with finishing my side. We'll do so with 4 to 5 trades left. So, Darcy, turn him into Darcy at flex. Well, you're getting an extra game on Darcy over Ashcroft. You've got these guys in the mids for the year, but it helps with your buy and can field an extra rookie. So I think that's fine to do, mate. You're listing the positives here, and you've got no issues with finishing your side. So I think that's fine, mate. But again, I've got a bad feeling that I'm maybe overhyping Darcy this week. I really, really love him. I've got a feeling I may be overhyping though. So yeah, maybe I just need to tone the Darcy down a little bit. Robbie, hey mate, hey lads, do you think it's worth waiting for rookies to max out Johnson, Carroll, Clark, so I can get a better 23rd primo in a few weeks, given that McCarthy will likely be my flex next week, who can score decent enough? Or just grab Horny Man this week or next and finish the side? I actually like grabbing Horny Man next week. So not this week, but I actually like grabbing him next week, mate. So that's what I would look to do. We get that extra week starter, see how bad that injury actually is, see how much CBA time he actually gets. So that would be my preference at this stage. And that way you get that extra week from Johnson, Carroll and Clark to make a bit more coin. And between these guys, you'll easily be able to get up to Horn Francis, I think, anyway. So, that's what I'll be doing anyway, Robbie. All the best, mate. Here's Legend HOA, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Was thinking Pedler to Mills in 1 trade, or Pedler to Darcy and the pencil to Butler in 2 trades, or is downgrading Gawn to DDK and bringing in both Naz and Mills in 3 trades. Cheers. So you got every option available here, brother. I don't like Gawn down. Other people may disagree, and that is absolutely fine. I have no issue with people doing it. Could you imagine, like you actually own the man, then you trade him out, and you witness him just go 160s? Like, wouldn't it just break your heart? So it's like the break the heart type factor. But look, financially, if it makes sense, and go for it, mate. But you are getting a decent combo, I suppose, there with the Wang and TDK. Pedler to Mills. So this issue, with McCarthy now available, do you go him over your Mills? And then use the extra money somewhere else? Can you get a Nazire in doing something without getting Mills and getting McCarthy over him? So that's really what I prefer. Pedler to Darcy and Huss to Butler. So if you're asking me if I like Mills or Darcy, I like Darcy over Mills, mate. So I'm almost tempted to go your 2 trades, Pedler and Huswaite to Darcy and Butler. I think, mate, that's probably what I'd look to do. But again, it depends on how many trades you're left with and how much you're comfortable with, mate. But yeah, all the best, H. We'll definitely have a good chat soon, mate. Jakarta, hey dear. Hope you're well. Thanks, mate. 22-14 this week. Nice. Brizzy boys are needing the buy personally. Absolutely agree, mate. Decided it's time to go Ned Long. See you later. Bringing in Hewitt. Love that. Have Carroll sitting in flex with the intention of holding for a few weeks gets a 450, 530k flex. Loop Kirch and McCarthy D6. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that's a really good plan, mate. So you got Zorko there. GZ, really solid. Kirch for now, good. Rankin Carroll, I think that's perfect, mate. Think you've got it all worked out. Didn't even need my advice there, buddy. Awesome stuff, mate. Hex, is it worth fading Mills if you believe McCarthy will pump out similar scores? Yep, we've just talked about this, haven't we, mate? And the money you would have spent on Mills goes towards a better player around the 475, 550k mark. Yes, I absolutely do agree with that, mate. In saying that, this is what we need to keep in mind. And maybe I was a little bit too quick to say yes, yes, yes. But Callum Mills has shown in the past, when fit and firing in the right role, he is an absolute monster. He is an absolute monster and can give you a 150 in the blink of an eye. He's a captain and he's been a premium of the past. We are comparing him to a bloke that's played one game. So it's so disrespectful of Callum Mills, but we know what his injury toll's been like. We know what his body's gone through in the last couple of years, Mills. So, look, yeah, I may be being a little bit disrespectful to Mills there, but I just think McCarthy can most likely do the same job as what Mills can do. It's such a lucrative role for McCarthy, and after what he did in the weekend, and I mean, he's a little bit crazy, but surely not even he could actually take him out of the role. So, yeah, I actually like the McCarthy move better, mate. Cause of the ladies, man. Hey, buddy, I'm really considering a risky plan in going to Grundy. Well, Grundy's probably the bloke that I would go to, mate. Hewitt to McCarthy. That's got to be Elijah. Yeah. And Pedler to Darcy. Yeah, means next week I can go Gray and Clark to Mills in 99, and we'll have 4 trades from September. Go with McCarthy, Flex, and have 6 trades. I hate getting Gorn out, but surely can find another way not to just have to go Gorn to Grundy, man. Like, just trying to think, is there another way? Could you just go Clark? No, you can't really go Clark to Luke, can you? Could you just get Huswaite down to someone instead of, like, Huswaite dead, like DPP? I'd go Huswaite down instead of going to Grundy, mate. If you can. That's what I'd be doing instead of getting out going to Grundy, mate. But in saying that, Grundy's got a really nice run. If you want a pod, go for it, ladies, man. G'day, how are you, mate? G'day, gents. Who would you pick? Sam Darcy plus 30k or JHF? It's so tough, mate. You'll get so many different responses to this. I'd love to actually see a poll. But this week, I'd say Darcy. But overall, I think it's got to be Horne-Francis. At the end of the day, he's a key forward, does have a nice run, but we saw what the Horny Man did, although not against fantastic opposition, but only 9% CBAs. In saying that, does that concern you a little bit more? Does it have to be this week, mate? Look, you definitely, you want to do it this week, don't you? I'm so keen to see another week with JHF, just to see about the injury in the role. So, overall JHF, but this week I actually like Sam Darcy in the short term, brother. Let's see, I think you've got some responses here. So, Grandmaster Gamma says JHF, teams will go to work on Darcy now. Even if they go to work on it, the only thing I'd say, Grant, and it's a really good point, mate, but when they go to work on him, it's, at the end of the day, he's almost unstoppable. If he gets his hands to the highest point to get that football, he's close to unstoppable. So, I do agree they'll absolutely try to put a lot of work into him, but how much work will they actually be able to do and how successful will it be? Cutter says all evens out with those 23 keepers. We'll have 2 to 3 questionable picks. Yeah, like your Roberts, your McKercher types, I'm seeing a lot of sides. Desi's pondering the same thing. And Matty says JHF. So, yeah, look, I agree with the overall pick of JHF. I think it's hard to deny, but you'd love to have Darcy as well, wouldn't you? That's why I'm getting both, Cutter, in the next couple of weeks, mate. All the best, legend. Much love, mate. Supercoach HQ, how are you, bud? I know Janath hates my gone out idea. I got it missed. I'm not a big fan either. That legend has made himself very clear, but I'm so tempted to full send it. Leave my team as follows. Talk me off the ledge, boys. Appreciate it. Loophole players making looping Clark, Johnson, McCarthy easy. Can I just say for a start, mate, regardless of what any other opinions are from Janath, myself, anyone else out there, you do what you think's best, mate, because we may be completely wrong and they're only opinions at the end of the day. Follow your gut, buddy. And the worst thing is trying to listen to other people, not following your gut, and then seeing your gut actually come to fruition. And it's like, damn, it was actually the right thing to do, what I was thinking. So please don't let us try to talk you out of anything, mate. But Gawn, I just think is, the way I feel about it is Gawn is just on another level. And he's someone that can be a real difference maker in your side, particularly with that huge ceiling. But let's see what your plans are, bud. So getting the two doggies boys in, love that combo. Your Darcy, Richards, and McCarthy. So 3 really nice trade-ins. And then, do you know what? So you're splitting Gawn into Darcy and Richards. But do you know what, man? In saying that, Sheldrick, I know it's hard with Mills coming, with other players returning to the side. Break even of -2. Like 85, 93. So yeah, look, 81, 85, 93, 109. That's not too bad, brother. St Kilda North. Yeah, look, who knows what his role is going to continue to be if those CBAs will continue, because there's so many blokes going through there, isn't there? But if you're talking about like Sheldrick and Gawn as a combo versus Richards and Darcy, just this ceiling worries you, doesn't it? I don't know how much difference it's actually going to be in regards to ceilings here, but you are getting an extra player this week. Look, mate, if you want to go through with it, I do not think that's a bad move, mate. Absolutely go for it, brother. I don't like the Gawn out, as you know, but again, it gets you the 2 dogs and really, really exciting and fun players to own. Just send it, mate. Don't listen to us. Full send it. Go for it. All the best, mate. All right, Balupa. I can only choose between JHF and Darcy unless the sideways rank, and leaves me with 3 or 4 trades, though. Well, overall, I think we've probably agreed that it's JHF, mate. But I love Sam Darcy. Jazza, legends. Been loving the work from you lot all season. Appreciate you, man. Saw a take from Hippo, given Max as a buy. Then 3 uber tough matchups. Wits, Rob, and Sherry. Could we potentially get him for under 600k? If so, is trading now, finishing the team, they're getting me back for the run home viable? Our advice was at last week's potty or the week before was don't trade out a player now that you want to trade back in your side. That was our advice, mate, because it is very, very tough. And what you also got to understand is that when it comes to tough matchups, Max Gawn and Sherry, they are the toughest matchups. So although Rob and these guys do present a bit of a challenge at times, Gawn is Gawn, and he's the one that people actually worry about. So I don't really look at the matchups as much with someone like a Gawn and worry, because I know that pretty much on his day, he can score a 150 against any ruck in the competition. So I don't love this move because I think it's dangerous. And look, and fair enough, as you said, mate, you're saying potentially, and it's, yeah, you've got to think about these things. And I love the fact you're thinking about it, mate, but planning for Gawn at under 600k, I think is a bit of a dangerous move. Like, I've planned for JHF way too low. I planned for him at like 430, 440. I planned for Butters way too low. It can get you in a little bit of trouble, and then you may not be able to get him back in, mate. So if you really want Max in your final side, I wouldn't be trading him out, mate. But that is just my opinion, Jazz. And all the best of luck, buddy. Hope it works out well, whatever you do, man. Kepler, hey, mate. Hey, guys, love the work. Eagerly await the notifications each week that the potty is up. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that, brother. Here are the trades for this week, leaving me with 8 trades. Jeez, very, very nice with 8 trades. And the 23 primo is beautiful. Happy with the trades. Also, sorry, that's a question. Also, what would you plan to do looking at my side for the rest of the year? So let's have a look at your trades first, my man. You're getting out the Pencil, Hall, and Gray for Naz, McCarthy, and Butler. Yeah, well, very nice, mate. The fact you're getting Naz in there, big fan of that. McCarthy, you got to have him in. And Butler, I don't necessarily like going early on, but based on him playing in the same team as the Wizards, etc., I think he most likely keeps his spot, and he's been scoring pretty well, as you can see from the average in the 60s there for us. So, yep, I think the trades are all good, bro. Now, so this team is including those trades, so it would leave you with 8. So you still got 8 trades with this side. Okay, so we'll start from the back. So you got Sinclair, Clark, Whitfield, Naz, Sheasel, McKercher, Carroll and Clark. So yeah, all good there, mate. Problem McKercher's that one that you'd like to upgrade if possible, but nah, all sweet. Brayshaw, Bont, Green, Butters, Chera, Dacos, Rosie, Ashcroft. I actually like the midfield there, mate. It's probably Ashcroft is that one that isn't that Uber type there or pushing up, but on saying that, he's pretty close to these guys here, isn't he? Sherry and Witt, so obviously Gorn is the one that you're missing there. Baz, Track, McRae, Bolton, Daniel, Rankin, and DeConning. Cool, so you got that big 3 ruck setup, but missing Gorn. And then you got Butler there. Cool. So what would you do at my side? So what I'd be doing, mate, the fact that you've got 8 trades and you'll be able to use this money on Butler eventually. Got a little bit there. You'll be able to use the money here because you've got McCarthy, who's able to cover down back. So what I'd be doing, mate, is I'd be potentially looking week or two, whatever, get one of these guys out for a DPP loop, and it would be a defensive mid loop. That way McCarthy can cover down here, and you've got some more flexibility. And then I'd be then using that cash to be looking to upgrade your McKercher types, your Will Ashcroft types, potentially your Bolton, McRae, maybe these types, to better primos like your JHFs. Who haven't you got in your backline? Sorry, I keep on going back. Like your, I don't know, your Ashes, your Holmes after the buy, for example, if you could afford that. So, given the fact you've still got 8 trades there with a decent side, that's what I'd then be doing, mate. So I'd be then taking money off your Johnson head, your Carroll's head, and then reinvesting on field to get a better type of primo. You can do that with 8 trades, and lots of these guys, you know, you haven't got a dead bench. You know, 1, 2 playing, 3 playing, 4 playing. You're actually going all right for your bench there, mate. So that would be my advice for your Keps, is to start getting a better quality premium on field, buddy. Bloops, Nuke, and 3 rookies to Bont, McCarthy, and JHF to finish the team over the next few weeks. Yeah, love that, mate. Leaves me with 5 trades at a full 22 primos. Only weak points will be Neil, Marshall, Rankin, and Daniel. And look, they're not massive weak points, are they? Not massive. Marshall, I'm getting a little bit more concerned on. Rankin and Daniel aren't really poddish, but yeah, both. Yeah, Rankin in particular been disappointing. I can also go 2 rookies to Mills as flex, but we're left with 3 trades for the season. Nah, I would be doing your original plan, Blooper. I think that's really solid, mate. Good planning, buddy. All the best. Green, eggs, and ham. Hey, boysies. 7 trades at 431k in the bank. That's a bloody nice balance there. We're sinking 2 of Hewitt, Naz, Mills, and Darcy. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, I can do this. Could wait a week on Darcy and then just do the one this week to potentially save cash. Instead of getting 2 of them, though, trading Pedler, Vicentini, and Clark through the next 2 weeks. So the issue is 2 of Hewitt, Naz, Mills, or Darcy. I really like... Hewitt, man. Have you got the rest of your side? Naz. I like Naz and Hewitt at this stage, mate. So, Naz and Hewitt are probably the ones I'd like the most. And then, definitely Darcy. Mills, an absolute, next level down for me, mate. Big fella, g'day. I'm trying to revolve my trades around pods. Currently ranked 300. Nice, brother. I want to make trades that get me up the ranks. As I have... is having 2 injury trades not enough? Or could I get away with it? If I leave 2, could complete my team next week. Otherwise, wait until round 17 to 18. Oh, it's a tough question. So, what are your trades? Huswaite and Levi to Newen and Darcy. I don't mind that at all. Sinclair, Holmes, Clark, Whitfield, Rosie, Sheasel. Very nice. With McCarthy there as well. Brayshaw, Bont, Dawson, Butters, Chera, Merritt, Will, and Nick. Cool. 2 big boys in the ruck. Nice. Baz, Petrarca. Jeez, I'm getting sad looking at these good teams here comparing to mine. Daniel Kennedy is at Rankin. Gray, but Darcy will be there. Angus Clark. Is 2 injury trades enough? Well, you're getting McCarthy here, who can... Ooh, yes, so Newen. So he'll be covering here. Johnson you'll have there. Look, it could actually be enough. It could be, but in saying that, we've seen weeks towards the end of the season where we've lost 3 primos bang in a week, particularly towards the back end of the season, when particularly players from the lower ranked teams that won't be making finals might be sent into surgery a little bit earlier. Don't want to risk him for the last couple of weeks. Yeah, it doesn't mean much. Let's just pack him away for the year, put him in cotton wool, etc., etc. It is very, very tough. Very, very tough to predict this. I would be a little bit nervous with 2, but we do have the flex and you've got McCarthy. So it's a bit of a different year. If any year, this is a year that I think it would be more okay than not, but still not a huge fan of it, mate. But congrats on the rank. You probably don't need my advice even. Go for your life, mate. Do what you've been doing. Next one, Chrissy Clement. G'day, Chris. Away, mate. Hey, guys. Love the pod. Listen every week. Thank you very much, dude. Stuck in 2 minds. Have a complete 22 and have enough to turn Erasmus into Mills for my flex. So, one thing I must say is I've been, your McCarthy over Mills. I think that Mills is fine as a flex. He's more than okay as a flex. Or I can turn Rankin into Hewitt or De Conning and wait for Erasmus to fatten up and turn him into Nick Martin in a few weeks. So the question basically is, mate, do you get Mills in there or Rankin into Hewitt and then, and then look to get your Nick Martin in a few weeks? Erasmus, so when you say fatten up, what's he... Damn, I was going to get him, Chris, his sub game. Remember, I think lots of people are going to jump on. Who was it against? I forget who it was even against. And all of a sudden it came out that he was going to be starting as a sub, or we thought he wasn't going to be. He's done really well. Breaking of 18, that's nice. Playing Essendon this week. I have not been tracking him, to be quite honest, but... Okay, so... He will really need to... he'll need to go big this week, mate. He'll need to go big this week, but I don't mind this little draw that he's got there. They're projecting 50s and then 60s. He'll go up 15, but then down 7. This hurts here against North. It depends how much you actually need or expect Erasmus to fatten up, I think, Chris. I wouldn't be expecting, or I wouldn't be planning, mate, for anything more than, I think, even saying 25k, maybe a little bit more, maybe being generous based off those projections and scores. But if you think you can get 70s and 80s, excuse me, mate, then potentially, I almost think the safest thing is your Erasmus into Mills. But what I would rather do, if that makes sense, is Rankin to Hewitt and then get Nick Martin. If you can, that would be my preference. But I suppose if I was to give advice on maybe what the safest thing to do is to go Mills. But it all depends on how much you need Erasmus to go up, mate. If you've got maybe another trade up the bank and Erasmus doesn't make that much, but you can still get rid of, I don't know, a Clay Hall, a Huswaite type that you've still got, and be able to make that Martin move, then I'd be more than happy to do that. So I hope that sort of makes sense, Chris. All the best of luck, mate, and appreciate the support, bud. Jakey, ranked 1862. Nice, mate. Looking at going Pedler to Bowen this week, next week. Okay. Patton, Keeler, and Clark out for McCarthy and JHF. Are we comfortable looping Kirch McCarthy D6? Yes, I would be, mate. I think that's a really solid move, mate. Getting JHF in and being able to loop these two, getting the best score from week to week. Yep, not too bad at all, brother. Ghost Bakes. Lads, how are you, mate? Sitting rank 1.2, well done. This is a team for trading Mills and McCarthy. 4 trades left. Or can skip Mills, bring in Butler McCarthy, use cash to bring in Darcy for flex. Would be down to 3 trades, but have cover loop on every line. I'm actually doing JHF next week, going down to 3 and having cover on every line with a loop. So this is what you've got. So you've made your trades. Okay, so Sinclair, Dale, Clark, Whitfield, Rosie, Naz. Yep, sweet. Clark Patton. I don't know how long we can count him as cover, but we'll see how we go, mate. Bray, Dawson, Butters, Green, Chera, Rao, Dacos, Dunkley, sweet. Sherry DeConning, Smith. Okay. Let's get Mills, Green, Butler. Now, I think this is fine, mate. I think that's fine. Maybe go with your 4 trades, I think, on that one. But either way, follow your gut, mate. Follow your gut, but probably 4 trades a bit safer. Doobies. Hey, fellas. 2 upgrades left. 8 trades remain. Almost 150k in the bank. 2 forwards finished at 23. 3 trades this week. Greater Darcy. Love it. 5 trades left to make. 1 final upgrade. Play it safe and finish team in a few weeks, allowing rookies to fatten up. 6 trades left to make. 1 final upgrade. Cool. So he's just sort of telling us what your plan is there. Yes. Cool. Yeah, I really like that back. That's really strong. So you got your Sinclair, Clark, Whitfield, Rosie, Shees, and then Zorko. That's really nice, mate. What a pod. Huey, McCluggage, Brayshaw. Oh, and you got Holmes as well. So technically, if you chuck Holmes there for Sheasel, you have an elite backline, man. You're just probably missing, who would you want? Ash, Naz? No, maybe even not. That's elite. Dale, maybe. Bond. So I'll go through this quicker. Yeah, sweet, mate. I think that is fine. 6 trades left to make. And hopefully, yeah, you get some money off your Carrolls, your Johnson types, and your Clarks. So, yeah, well done, mate. Good planning on your behalf. Well done, mate. Stan, Clark to Mills Flex or Erasmus to JHF or Darcy F6. Erasmus to JHF or Darcy F6 for me, brother. Thanks, Stan. Jazz, 220k in the bank, 6 trades, and this is my VC captain for the week. Any suggestions on finishing the side? Is Seldrick to Gorn in 4 weeks an option? If you can do that, that would be awesome. Won't trade this week. Do we think McCarthy has to be fielded? No, I don't think he does have to be fielded. But if you can loop him, that's, yeah, fantastic, mate. So who have you gone? You've gone your Jackson, yeah, Dogger into Bont. Sweet. Any suggestion on finishing the side? Yeah, so I reckon you go that. What are you here? So you got Erasmus here. Yeah, well, you'll need to get Erasmus up. And I'd be looking at, yeah, your Darcy or your JHF types, your track types, whoever sort of floats your boat there. Nick Martin. You could even get Dogger here and then go for Gorn. Look, if you can do Sheldrick to Gorn, get Dogger up here, that would be absolutely amazing, mate. If you can do that, kudos to you. That would be a brilliant late season move, buddy. I'm not sure how many more we got. Sorry, guys. Feels like we're going on forever here, doesn't it? I'll try to get a little bit quicker. Nettie, I don't want to trade Gorn, but it's my only avenue to semi-full primo. 2 out of them being McKercher and Mills. Look, mate, sometimes we need to do things that we don't want to. I would hate to do that, but if you feel like it improves your team, go for it, mate. Dalik, not sure what this is. Hey, guys, hope you're well. Apologise, this is going to be a long question. I've just said I'm turboing long question. No worries at all, mate. We'll help you as much as we can. Pre-typed, okay. 3.3, 7 trades left, 2 trades in mind, 1 trade out of Long, Daniel or Warner for Mills. This plan will allow me to get a full non-rookie 23 next week, but we'll have 3 trades left. Other plans not trading to Mills, but instead pivot JHF Darcy via one of those 3, relying on MacArthur to hold for flex for a bit, complete the team a couple of weeks later. Alderworth not trading this week, be patient with upgrades. Keep in mind I have 10 players out for the round 16. Or if you've got 10 players out, yeah, I would almost, mate. I like this one here. Pivot to your JHF Darcy. Rely on McCarthy for a little bit, I think, mate. That would be probably what I like. Jeez, okay. I like, so you projected here. Yep. Great, Butler, yep. Don't know if you guys can hear River in there going, that's... Trade Long, Mills and Darcy, but end up with 2 trades to end the season. I like, mate, this one here. This one here. We'll see. Maybe I'll tag the other boys here too. And see what Janath says. But I probably like that option, mate. But hopefully Janath can help you a little bit there too, buddy. All the best, man. Jaded. Lads, hope as well. Thanks, mate. Contemplating if I should do these 2 trades, which takes me to 7 left, 10k in the bank, or hold off and see Robbo, Clark, and Killer have similar break-evens, but trading Clark gives me an extra rookie for covering round 16, right? Only if 18 primos playing. Look, as long as you got 18, mate, that could be okay. Look, think about what Clark did last week. You know, it wasn't fantastic, was it? So I wouldn't be necessarily banking on him to do anything fantastic. Clark, Roberts to Allen and Naz. 7 trades. So full primo there. Full primo there. Yep. That is fine, mate. Yeah, I actually like that. I don't mind that, mate. So I think these are absolutely fine. These trades, buddy. Brad, Mills in 2 trades or JHF Darcy in 3? It depends how many trades you have left, but I'd much rather these guys here, I think, mate. JHF, I'd much rather in 3, I think. As lads, Bont this week or next? Well, jeez, mate. He's got a big break even. Look, he could honestly hit it. He's going to get a big score this week, you'd hope, but you can probably leave it next week. Money-wise, it would probably make sense next week, but points-wise, it would make sense to probably do it this week. This week means to get his score against the Tigers and run 19 rather than 18, but next week means I'm 80k richer based on rookies going up for 1 more week and Bonk going down. Yeah, I'd need to have a look at your overall side, mate. Like, how many more do you need to complete your side? So, look, you've said it there. You've really answered your own question, mate. Do you value points this week? How desperate are you for points this week as compared to extra cash in the bank? So, you've pretty much almost answered your question. Well, not answered it, but giving yourself the 2 options there, mate. The way things going, probably go for the money. But in saying that, the Bont would be disappointed. We already dished out last week, and he could go bang and could be a tough anti-pod. HJC, g'day boys, 7 trades with them or upgrade whoever, and tempted to trade rank into JHF and Darcy this week. 3 trades left with full primo, including flex would be enough. That's what I'm doing personally, so I'm going to say yes, but it is a little bit risky, mate, in saying it, but I'm doing it myself. Barnaby, hey guys, who should I bring in this week out of Horny and Darcy? Next week, I'll get the other, I believe personally, Darcy this week, and then Horny the next week, mate. But that is just my opinion. That's what I'm doing myself. James Delberto, Jimmy, hey lads, very aggressive plan. I like it though. But these trades this week, then next week will be Johnson, Clark, and Gray to Horn, Francis, Butler, and 99 DPP, which leave me with 1 trade. Wow, 1 trade, but with the flex, and then having McCarthy and Butler to cover all lines. 1 trade, man. Next week, Gray, Horn, Francis to Butler. Only 1 trade. But you got Flex and McCarthy. I couldn't do it myself, mate, with 1 trade. Not myself. But with Flex and McCarthy, I think it could be the year to do that. But I would be too nervous. I couldn't really give advice and say by next week have 1 trade left and feel right about that. So I'm going to be a little bit more conservative and say probably not. But if you like it and it's very aggressive, go for it, mate. It could work out in spades if the ball falls your way. Mitch, hey guys. For my final upgrade, do you think I should get Mills this week? Leaves me with 5 trades or use 1 extra and get Naz. I would be getting Naz, mate, with 4 trades, buddy. Burners, hey lads. Ooh. Current trades, Hewitt, Pedler, Neil to Darcy, JHF, 99k, Rook. Yep. Leaves 1 upgrade if I want a 23rd, 148k in the bank, 5 trades left. If I get a 23rd, would probably leave 3 trades for injuries. Thoughts, not final. Don't really want to trade Neil, but he's been average. I'm absolutely with you, mate. So, good midfield. You got McCurch, you'd probably like to remove. Roberts, probably the weak link there. Rank not going great, but okay. Johnson. Three trades for injuries, I think is fine, mate. I think that's okay. It's always a little bit risky. I'm mainly just comparing what I'm doing myself, and I'm going to be leaving myself with 3 trades. So I don't know whether that's right or wrong. I'm just, sort of going back to what I'm doing. Spud, hey man, 7 trades, 148k in the bank, rank 384. Congrats. 22 primos, in inverted commas, with at least 3 being fake. I can use 3 trades and get to Sam Darcy to get 23. So these are so similar, these questions, aren't they? Leave McCarthy in flex. Well, see, the thing is that I'm able to get pretty much do both. For now, I think McCarthy in flex is okay, and then you can assess the waters a little bit, mate. So I think McCarthy in flex for now, and then just assess the next week or two, and then you'll be able to make a decision. There'll still be lots of players available, dude. And should I go the offensive one? Sometimes they aren't. Oh, poor old Bernie here. Nothing offensive. Poor old Burn. The Oracle, hey, mate. DR, would you endorse a luxury trade of merit to Richards? Team is already completed. Have 7 trades remaining. Would leave me 6 for the run home. Absolutely, my friend. Yes, I would endorse that. You've said it's a luxury trade. Team's complete with 7 trades remaining, 6 to run home. Yes, I would absolutely do that, mate. Really like his run, and I'm really worried about Zeret. So, yeah, you get my thumbs up for that one, mate. All the best, dude. Thanks, mate. And I think the last one here is from Burns. Bernie. Who is the best rookie to fill D6? McCarthy, mate. Got to be McCarthy. 5 trades left, 70k in the bank. Not sure if I can get 22 primos. Rookie to fill D6. Or is it maybe F6? Oh, Closey. So it must be F. So you got Kako, Closey, Gross, Daywicks. How many trades have you got left, mate? So you've got 5 trades and 70k in the bank. All right, Burn. 5 trades. 5 trades. 70k. Let's work out what we're going to do for you, mate. Okay, that doesn't make... So your defensive line's fine. Your midfield's fine. 2 big boys in the ruck. Yeah, so it's your flex and your forward line. So you desperately need to invest in some forward action here, buddy. All right. So there's basically no cash gen here. Johnson's a bit of cash gem. 70k, you haven't got much. All right, mate. Unfortunately, I hate giving this advice, but this is one of the times where I think, given your lack of cash gen, the fact you probably need 3 more primos on field, this is probably the split Gorn scenario, I think, here. So you need to find yourself a bit of a value ruck, I think, and then use that money going down from Gorn to a more value ruck to upgrade your Johnsons and your Kako, I think, mate. I don't know. Look, if you get McCarthy in your flex, then that's all good. That will then allow you to work on your Kako and your Closey. So what I'd be looking to do, mate, is, unfortunately, I would personally look to go Gorn down to someone like it, at TDK. Maybe you want a little bit more money in the bank, someone a little bit cheaper, potentially. Yet you can't be getting the best of the best here, I don't think. So I'll be making money that way. I'll then be getting, when it's the time, Johnson to a McCarthy, and then using that money to then upgrade your Kako type selection there. So that's what I'll be doing, mate. And it may be tough to get to your 22 primos, but hey, hopefully McCarthy can do the job, mate. And the primos that you do have, stay fit and healthy and smash it out of the park for you, Bernie. That is it, guys. That is it. So, final question for the mailbag from Burns. That gets us to the end. I am losing my mind here. I've just come home from work, feeling pretty tired, but hopefully there was a little bit of decent advice there, guys. If I get it wrong, I do apologise. As I said, it's very, very hard doing this solo. I absolutely want the boys here, but just got a lot of stuff going on, so decided to try to do it myself this week. So now I will do a live at some stage, a live stock market. I just have not had the time to put everything together, just been crazy stuff lately. So what I thought that I'd do is put a live up. I won't have all the charts and all that, but I'll obviously have my Supercoach Gold and all that. ask me about a player, put one down there, make some requests, and I'll give priority to members of the channel. Requests and those people that have put donations through. I've got a list for those people just to thank you as well. But open to everyone, and then I'll actually go through those plays for you and do a bit of a live for that player. So won't be the in-depth type stuff that you usually get with a stocky, but I'll try my best to make up for not actually producing it for the week. So that is it for the mailbag, guys. All the best luck with your trade ins and your trade outs for the week, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Cheers, bye.